So you want to learn how to draw a golf ball. In this video, we're going to discuss just that, and we're going to go into depth on what causes a draw and how and what produces a draw. Here we go. A lot of students ask me, how do I shape the golf ball? How can they shape the golf ball, right? It's a question that's easily answered, but it's also difficult depending on what swing they have. Now, to shape a golf ball, it's quite simple, right? The mechanics of shaping a golf ball are very, very easy. It's the same as in soccer. Outside kick, where you come and you cut across the ball will have right spin and then it will cut to the right, okay? Well, you come from the inside and the ball will have left spin and it will curve to the left, okay? So those are super simple, and that's exactly the same mechanics and physics as a golf ball. Now, there's a couple things I want to get into when talking about a draw. Your stance, your ball position, the way your feet are angled, your swing path, and then overall your club face and how you're releasing the club through impact. So, to talk about these four variables here. Number one, ball position, right? It'll be harder to draw the golf ball if it's further in front of your stance. I find a lot of people like to put the ball further forward, as that will get them the height. And that works for some people. I do like to do that. But to hit a draw effectively, it's easier to go in the middle of your stance, just like this. Right? If it's in the middle of my stance here, right now I can put a little forward shaft lean on it, tilt, and then now execute my drawn shot. So if it's in the middle of my stance, it's easier to come in to out and compress that golf ball and then come through with that released finish. Now, another thing I wanted to get into was your feet position, right? For a draw, just like the inside curve where the ball curves left, which is what you want for righty golfers especially, you want your feet pointed towards the right. So my feet are now angled here towards the right side so that I can get my swing path coming from the inside to the outside, which creates that same bias in soccer where you're cutting across it like this, okay? Now, when you can do that, the ball will have left spin and will curve left, okay? The same goes for a hook. If I wanted to hook the golf ball, I would just do this more. My feet are heavily staggered, my club face is closed. All I'm gonna do is swing along my foot line, and that ball, for me, is guaranteed to hook every time, right? It powers into the mesh on the left, and that ball will hook, okay? Now, all you have to do for a draw is just turn that down, right? Just curve your feet, point your feet to the right a little less, and swing along your foot line the same way. It's just not going to be as pronounced from in to out. It's going to be a little bit less, okay? So, we covered foot position. Now let's get into a little bit of the shoulders, right? We want our shoulders pointed in the same direction as well. If our shoulders are pointed to the left, what will happen is we'll naturally then follow the left where our shoulder line is following. We want our foot and our shoulder line to be on the same plane, so we can be both pointed towards the right side, so that we can also promote that in to out club path and swing path, okay? So that will also assist us in getting this draw. Now, club face. For your club face, what you're gonna want, you wanna open your club slightly towards your target, but you want it closed to your swing path. So you want it in between your swing path and your target. So my club would be slightly open to where I want to aim, so we can get this ball started to the right side. But my club face will be slightly closed to where I'm actually swinging, okay? So if I'm swinging along this line, my club face is going to be closed compared to that line, but open compared to straight, okay? So because we want this ball starting right, turning back into the left, and then hitting our target line, which is most likely going to be straight, okay? So we put those things together. The last thing we're going to talk about is our release, right? I see a lot of people, one of my students actually earlier this week was asking me how to draw a golf ball. But what they were doing was they'd come to the ball and then they'd pull the club inside and dig, right? That'll lead to your shank, and that'll lead to that fade ball, okay? We don't want to be digging, as we have a really deep divot here as well. We want to be able to release the club effectively, okay? Now, what does that mean? That means you want to come back and let the club go, right? You want to be swinging from in to out here on this line. We don't want to pull the club inside here as that knot goes from out to in, okay? We want to be releasing the club, letting the club go all the way to our finish, okay? So, release the club effectively. Have a good foot and shoulder line. Slightly open your club face to target and swing along that line, and what that should produce is a good solid draw. So that would look something like this, okay? Shift, feet are shifted, club face is slightly open, still put the forward shaft lean on it. Now all I'm going to do is release and swing along my shoulder line. And boom. There's our draw. We're a little into the wind, so that ball will balloon up a little higher. But overall, that's how I get my draw, okay? So, to go over all 4 or 5 of these things again, number 1, if you want to draw the golf ball, make sure your feet and your shoulders are both pointed right of target. This will help assist you in that in to out club path, which is what you want for a draw, right? To go back into the basics, just like soccer, a draw would be a inside curve coming from the right side, and then a fade would be a left curve, right? An outside curve with a soccer ball, right? So you really want to ingrain that feeling when you're trying to hit these types of shots, okay? We want our club face slightly open to target, but closed to swing path, okay? Something also very important to get that ball started right of target line, but then finish on target line, right? We want our club face slightly open to target, but slightly closed to swing path in club path, okay? Okay, and then lastly, the most important thing would be to release the club face effectively. We really want to be able to let this club just go. A drill I really like for this is just to let the club release naturally with your left hand, just like this. Do a couple strokes just like this. Really feel the swing just with your left hand, letting the club go, right? You can even throw your club, right? You can feel that feeling of throwing your club, right? As long as you're not hitting from a busy driving range, you just want to get that feeling of throwing your club to the right to get that good feel. Now, if we put all those things together, releasing the club effectively, coming from the in to out with our shoulders and our feet pointed towards the right side, and we release the club effectively, right? That's the most important part. What will happen is you'll end up being able to draw the ball. Again, for righty golfers, it's right to left. It'll look something like this. Right, came from the inside, and that ball finished a little left of my target, but overall it did draw, right? We want it finishing on target, but at the end of the day, left of target isn't the worst miss. If you haven't already, the subscribe link is down below here, and my new recent upload is right here if you'd like to check it out. I'll see you guys in the next one.